Hey, what's up, YouTube? I guess this week is generator week, so I've got another tip for you here. If you own one of these Ryobi generators, so the problem was the generator would start up, run, and then it would idle. But if you put a load on it, it would die. So cranked it up, verified the problem. Now it would run smooth. It would start. It would idle smooth. You would even turn it off, the automatic idle, and run full throttle. That would run smooth for a little while, then it would die out. So that tells me that it's a fuel problem. But I know it's not a carburetor problem, because carburetor problems are different. As a general rule, carburetor problems, if there's something plugging up the main jet in the carburetor, then it's going to run crappy all the time, not just after a little bit. So on the other side, obviously, I pulled the carburetor, and when I went to pull the fuel line off, I said, well, I wanted a sample of the fuel. So I turned on the petcock to let some fuel run into my little jug. I got a clear jar, see what it looked like. And it was just slowly just drip, drip, drip. So I'm like, okay, great. I know the problem. It's not delivering enough fuel to the carburetor, and the carburetor's just running out of fuel. Okay. So all these Ryobi generators from the factory, they didn't put a in-tank screen. All these other generators I work on have a tank that has a screen sticking up out of the hole in the bottom of the tank. So that's your first, that's why they don't put fuel filters on them, inline fuel filters, because the fuel filter, well, there's two stages really. There's a screen inside the neck when you take the cap off, that if you leave that cap, that little thing in there, it'll catch all your big chunks. And then the little screen inside the hole where the fuel goes down, that'll catch all your other chunks. Alright, well, this tank doesn't have that. It's just a straight hole coming out. So the way Ryobi has designed this is the fuel line that goes to the bottom of the tank, then it curves around like this, and it goes to the side of the petcock here. Then it leaves the petcock through this line to the carburetor. Now, the problem with this is all of the debris gets stuck in the petcock. This line right here coming out of the tank should be cut, and this fuel filter put in here first, so it comes out of the tank, and the first thing it does is go through the filter. So obviously what I found was, once I removed this line, the filter is clean, it's not restricted. I turned on the fuel and let it drip right out of the back of the petcock, and it's still just drip, drip, drip. So when I pulled this line off, it was literally clogged about to here where the hose clamp is with debris. So I blew that out of the line, and then I put this line on here backwards, alright, so that I could blow backwards through the petcock, and a whole bunch of crap shot out. You can still see it all over the side of the engine here. All this junk blew out of the petcock. So the point of this video is, if you got one of these generators and, well, you're either having this problem or you want to do some preventative maintenance and keep this problem from happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new line. This is 3/16 fuel line. I couldn't find the fuel line quite as skinny as what they have at the factory, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And I'm gonna just replace this line, but I'm gonna use this filter because it's still fine, there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm gonna take and chop it right about here, I think, and put that filter in here so that everything gets filtered before it even goes to the petcock, and then we don't have this problem again. So I just wanted to share what I found with you. This is how you solve a problem if you have a Ryobi that seems to be having fuel delivery issues.